The video playing is a concept of the moon being the map of the realm, and it's as good a theory as any. Now, the first thing I want to do is thank all the old world and realm researchers. I enjoy each and every one's 2 cents on the subject, past, present, and future. I don't have to agree, but I love the ride. I have a suspicion that the Earth is flat, not just because there seems to be solid evidence pointing in this direction, but also because it's sort of an inner standing that I've carried for as long as I've been alive. Now, I want to say that I think the earth under my feet, the soil, the roots, the graves, the many past civilizations that my feet are planted on, is bumpy and ominously hard to traverse in places. But that doesn't stop me from being rational about the fact that the earth and the water we sail on is a plane. And for me, I don't believe the realm is flat or has any shape that I personally can decipher. I haven't any evidence that someone's gotten high enough to calculate its size or shape. So it's really that simple for me. And I've never believed that we went around the sun. So any argument deriving from that conclusion is over. Period. The Kennedy and Nixon space program nonsense and NASA's space hoax is just that, nonsense and hocus pocus. These stories have come from an authoritative narrative, right? So they seem like they're true. But they're based on a scientific measurement of spinning, whipping balls of rock in the middle of nowhere. For me, this falls flat of any accuracy. I don't know what space is. It's just another mystery of the realm. Take the M off realm, and what do you have? Just an interesting spell disguised in plain sight. Maybe. I will say this about space. I do think the entities have gone as far up as possible. I do think the entities have got as close to the moon as possible. I do think that the entities have done their best to figure out where the sun goes when it stops projecting in the realm. Do I think they might know where the sun projects from? They may even have a theory of where the heat source for the realm originates. Maybe they found the machine that spins the luminaries around, from what I would theorize is a screen, for lack of a better understanding. If you want to argue that the stars don't spin around us over the realm, you never been to Vermont, Massachusetts, in New England, and literally watched it happen in real time. Look, there's no argument. All you have to do is go there, lay down at night, and observe what's happening. It's not complicated, it's simple. It's not scientific, it's observable. It's not technical, it's just beautiful. One can cover the eyes of intuition, but it won't stop it from being what it is. And of course, the moon landing is just a television show. For me, it's nothing more than a Three Stooges in space film, you know? I don't believe in the television programming of the moon script. What went on with the moon, I could hazard a guess, right? But I might pontificate this, they just didn't tell us. And that leads me to not believing in the ball. See, flat keeps you grounded, and balls keep you spinning. The first thing is we pollute the very space we occupy instead of living in synergy with the grid and feeding back into the loop for more energy on both sides. That's upside down. We live and work in squares. This modern day architecture is literally called brutalism. That's exactly the flip side of altruism and benevolence. Why don't we live in domes or pyramids with ergonomic, physical, and psychologically soothing heat sink environments with moats circling around them, growing our own food? Why don't we have free, safe public transportation technology that can literally bring you anywhere you desire? No, we have to have an auto industry that's made us all pay to travel, laws to follow, accidents, theft, murder, violations, high mechanical bills, tax, tags, receipts, and a bunch of garbage that even an auto enthusiast like me has zero interest in. What a joke. Take any outdoor hobby, and the alphabet boys have made pancakes out of it. How about jump into the next pod that comes by and go visit a relative 3,000 miles away while stopping at any place along the way just for kicks? Free to amble about? No. Mainstream narrative would have us believe that blimps are disastrous and unsafe. Again, for me, there's no argument. The old world used balloons, so this is a drastic misrepresentation of the facts about that technology. Yeah, it's flipped. Our society has exactly the opposite of a relaxing, economical mass transportation system. Here's a question. What came first, the idea and plans to make steel, or the money to make the plans for steel? Or how about this? Were people waiting around for money to be invented before making clothes? In both scenarios, we can clearly see it takes people to do stuff, not the invention of a currency. Money seems to be an obstacle to productive, free-flowing achievements. Did money come before the fishing rod? No way. Did hospitals come before birth? Did health only begin with medicine? Why don't we have medical and dental facilities with sound vibration and frequency tuning? Nah, we go to the hospital so they can normalize bad health, so they can cut parts away from us later on. I think we all have the feeling that there's a non-destructive cure for anything. Again, flipped upside down. We're not taught prevention. The medical complex only wants us around when they can attach greed to our condition. Some doctors will tell you you're sick so they can attach a monetary gain to your very life expectancy. Oh, we're so screwed up. And the education system has cut society's umbilical cord off of any rational, level-headed, sensible, logical, and most importantly, healthy psychology. In turn, it has obfuscated and penetrated one's mind with so much confusion and debt in a way that one can never adjust to, or even discover a path back to themselves or their soul. The very concept of all ideas about what we are as entities is concealed by the false pretense and declaration of, I come from a ball. The ball is a confine, and the great plane is an expanse. Completely opposite, right? See, the way I see it is, if you base all your individual knowledge from a counterfactual center point, then the answer will be wrong. And quite frankly, it always has been. Genius, yes. Harmful, but it's a flapjack psychology. And in my opinion, it was purposely implemented. Too many folks aren't realizing the consequence of actually believing that they live on a ball and what it's done to our species over such a long stretch of time. Most of the power we utilize is from the sky, not the ground. Let me put it like this. The theory of the jet plane, it takes a minuscule amount of gas to get it in the air. Maybe just a trickle, just to get the engines turned over, and from there it's all atmospheric energy or compression of something that the sky is actually made up of. My opinion is the sky is a technology that we were never taught about. Maybe the engines are just self-contained steam machines of sorts. Maybe our power lines take the energy right out of the sky and it has nothing to do with man-made power companies. The coal, oil, and gas industry is just a prop to keep the population off the scent of what the dome's purpose actually is. Infinite, perpetual energy. Do I know? No. But I do know something about this energy consumption racket fed to us, the people, is flipped. The cops aren't here to protect you, exactly the opposite. They protect the people who have repurposed the old world architecture and have commandeered them for themselves as government property, claiming that the people built them, and then arrest and extort any public interest in acquiring them for public use. The coppers never patrolled the streets for you. You just pay them to protect themselves and the organizations that put them there in the first place. The news is almost all fiction theater, and in my opinion, movies are the window into what the producers, actors, and creators want us to believe is fiction. But I believe most of the big screen productions are non-fictional truths in plain sight. The news is television programming. If you can decipher something positive from those two words, then you're upside down. The list could go on forever. Suffice it to say, for me, I don't believe where we live is a globe for the same reason that everything is flipped on its head in favor of some other entity's benefit, not mine, yours, or ours. It's very simple, it's not complicated, and once you realize you're not on a ball, you're not upside down anymore, and I'm just going to leave you with that. Thanks for watching.